It's an honor to present Dan Gire with this year's IJEA's Friend of Scholastic Journalism Award. Dan walks the walk. He is a regular speaker at scholastic journalism workshops and conferences throughout the state and is a judge for the state tournament series. He is quick to communicate with students about their stories and interests in journalism, especially review writing. He talks about his role as a film critic in Chicago, as well as the importance of practicing free and responsible journalism. And Dan always packs the house when he speaks. But today we honor Dan for something much deeper. Dan to us is like a knight in shining armor. He comes to our rescue. He is indignant when he hears of outstanding advisors who seem to be at the mercy of uninformed educators who do not understand scholastic journalism. He contacts the advisors. He defends them. He is their champion, defending them publicly and rallying local support. And the media, whenever they, at times, unceremoniously are removed from their positions or chastised for doing their excellent, great jobs. At a time when too many advisors are being removed from their jobs, Dan's outrage and action have inspired us all to do what we can to work toward a free student press and to help our fellow advisors. As the JEA considers attempting legislation again for the high school press, we're going to call on you, Dan, for your drive and expertise in this matter. We could not ask for a better friend. He has earned our hearts and respect, and we thank you and we congratulate you on being our own state IJEA Friend of Scholastic Journalism. In addition, I'm extra thrilled to say that he was also nominated for a national award, Journalism Education Award, and we received news 2 or 3 weeks ago that he is going to receive a national JEA Friend of Journalism Award. So he's a 2-time winner. So. And at this time, I'd like to ask Stan Zoller to come up. And Stan, if you would.
This is really extra special for me. I've gotten to know Dan not only as a professional friend, but a personal friend. And through that all, I found out that Dan is not just a friend of scholastic journalism, he's a friend of journalism overall. And we need to instill that in our students, that they might be called student journalists, but in reality, they're all journalists. And when you have a friend like Dan, it makes it a lot easier. Anyways, we're going to present a plaque to Dan. It said, the Board of Directors of the Illinois Journalism Education Association presents this certificate to honor Dan Gire, staff writer and film critic of the Daily Herald, in recognition of his outstanding support of scholastic journalism. During his distinguished careers as an educator and journalist, Dan Gire has taught the principles and practiced the highest standards of American journalism. He is an exemplar who prioritizes ethics and decision-making regardless of personal risk. Defending the First Amendment rights of his college journalists in the censorship controversy in 2006, Dan chose integrity over submission and consequently left his teaching and student newspaper advising positions after 22 years at William Rainey Harper College. Dan's testimony before the higher education committees of the Illinois Senate and Illinois House contributed to the passing of the 2008 Illinois College Campus Press Act, which protects students and faculty advisors from political firings. Today, Dan continues to champion the causes of scholastic journalism as a frequent speaker, judge, and advocate for student press rights and embattled advisors. He continues to serve his profession and his community as an award-winning writer since 1975 and film critic since 1981 for the Daily Herald. In appreciation of his courage, good works, and friendship, the IJEA salutes Dan Gire on behalf of all who value scholastic journalism, dated today, September 13, 2013.
My parents are here.
Oh, that's why you're funny.
Parents.
Sure. I brought my own contingency. These are my parents, Jim and Donna Gire of Charleston, Illinois, right here. And my sister is coming in from New Jersey, and her husband Bob, and my wife Peggy. Now, you might say, why the heck did I bring my entire contingents of my family here? And we left the ones from the other side of the family home. I think they were amazed that I actually won an award. So thanks.
Would you just like to say a few words?
I just want to say how humbled I am by that, and I mean that because humble is not something I usually feel. My wife and everybody, my mom and dad can tell you that. You know, the thing is that, to be honest, when I read about a journalism educator who's been fired for doing a really, really good job, I have to smile, you know? When I read in the student press law book about journalism educators who have been riffed, fired, terminated, downsized, booted out because they had the audacity to inspire their students to have a sense of curiosity, to ask lots of questions, and to utilize critical thinking skills. When those people are booted, it's time to pop the champagne corks. It's time to celebrate, I think, because you see, the dirty secret is, and it's not such a secret, academia has a never-ending supply of administrators who believe that they need to be in control of their institutions, of their staffs, of their faculties, of their students, of the student media, and of every piece of information about that institution. These administrators are sort of like the perpetual, renewable resource of academia. They will never go away. And when they take out one of us, I say there's no cause for alarm. When they take out 10 of us, I say there's no cause for alarm. If they take out 100 of us, no cause for alarm yet. The cause for alarm begins the day they stop firing us. Because that means that day is the day we stop giving them a reason to fire us. And the only way that would happen is if we curled up and died. If we put up the white flag, if we threw in the towel, if we just stopped. You know, what do the administrators want? The administrators want one thing. And if we give this to them, then we're fine. We'll never be bothered again. The administrators that I'm talking about, they simply want the press off. They want to turn the press off. They want the press off. They want the press off the story, off their mark, off their backs. What do we want? We want the press turned on. We want the press on. We want the press on the job, on their toes, on guard. And that, simplistically speaking, I grant you, are the two motivating big forces that are colliding in a battle for the soul and the future of journalism education in this country. Now, when Sally called me and said, Dan, you've got this award, I was like, I don't know really what I said the first time, but I was like, really? I did? Why? And I was thinking, maybe there should be a recount. Didn't I ask you for a recount? Because I thought there might be a hanging Chad somewhere that somebody missed or something. But you know what? Here's the thing. I am honored to be with you here today because none of you in this room has surrendered to the idea of being happy with just making a difference. You want more than that. Everybody in this room wants to make an improvement, not just a difference. And there's a world of difference between those two things. And so, if you are somebody here who has experienced what I have at Harper College, experienced what Stan Zoller has at Rolling Meadows High School, experienced what Linda Kane did at Naperville Central, experienced what Kathy Stibling did at the College of DuPage, and on the list goes in Illinois of wonderful, talented, driven teachers of journalism who have been shown the door for their excellence. If you're one of these, I have two words for you. Press on. from here on in, when our back's against the wall, when the water is rising, when the temperatures are going up, when the pressure is building, when the shit is hitting the fan, we'll toss that in too. All you have to do is take a breath, remind ourselves that we are not alone, remind ourselves we have support, remind ourselves we have a mission, because that is the time to remind ourselves to press on.